Hey guys, how you doing? G.I. Joe here. Welcome back to my bunker here in Atlanta, Georgia. Here we are for J7 in our BBR40 game. It's a very, very good game, a tight game. We are down to 10 victory points as the axis, me and my partner Detroit. So we have 10 points. We got to get to 12. We got 2 rounds to do it, and then we got to hold them. So let's see what's going on. Japan, because of the taking of Sydney and taking their bank, we have a $93 to spend, I believe. I had a little more than that, but then there was a convoy I think I rolled for or something. I can't remember. But so here's what we're getting. For 15, we're getting a bomber and an infantry. For 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm getting a tank and an infantry. For 16, I'm getting 2 destroyers. For 6, I'm getting 2 more infantry there. 10, 20, 30, 3 fighters. $3 another infantry, and 10, 11, 12 another bomber. Japan has 2 left over, and I will be collecting money at the end of the turn because I will need it for Japan. So let's do some combat movements. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take transports from C-Zone 19. I've got 2 transports there. I will grab 2 infantry from Johor, 2 tanks from Shanghai, and go 1, 2, 3 down to Dutch New Guinea. So we've got 2 infantry and 2 tanks. All right, we will be supporting that with offshore bombardments. I got my battleship and cruiser from, what's this called down here? Sydney will go 1, 2, 3, and they will do an offshore bombardment. Okay. What else am I going to do here? I'm going to bring some planes into that, but let me think. Let me do a couple other movements first. All right. Battle for Java. I'll bring a transport from Borneo. We will go 1 onto Java. Bring 2 guys. I will bring a bomber transport, air transport from Philippines. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 5, 6, 7. He has to land on Borneo, or 5, 6, 7. You can land in Northwest Territory. I'll decide that. So he has 3 movements left. So let me go ahead and mark that. Okay. I have 2 fighters from my carrier. All 43. We'll go 1, 2. They have 2 spots remaining. Okay. Before I move it, I'm going to put my destroyer from C-Zone 43. We'll go 1, 2 over here to 41. Before I forget, another destroyer from 19. We'll go, because I have a naval base that I bought. We'll go 1, 2, 3 down to 37. Okay. Off of Sydney, I've got 3 transports. Sorry, wasn't in the screen. 3 transports, one of which will pick up a infantry and tank from Sydney. Go 1, 2, come over here and land on Fiji. There's no value, but I'm there. Okay, I'll move this off so we know that that is not there. That is not confused with my purchased. What are the battles? I've done this battle. So I need to bring some planes into here. So I'm gonna, this fighter from this carrier will go 1, 2, 3, and also has 1 spot to land. These 2 tacticals from the Philippines will go 1, 2, 3. They have 1 spot to land. Of course, he does have a AAA, so he will get to shoot at me. Hold on a second. Do I want to do that? No. Well, let me think here. It's a carousel of planes here, so I got to think of how where I want my planes here. Yeah, that's what we will do. That's what we will do. That's what we'll do. All right, so these planes coming from the Philippines. That's what we'll do. All right, so I've got this attack on Java, 4 infantry, 2 planes. All right. I've got 2 tanks, 2 infantry. This destroyer is going to come down here too from 19, 1, 2, 3. Just to, okay. Just to make sure I don't forget that. So I've got 1, 2, 3. He rolls a 2. Is there anything else? I've done Fiji, Dutch New Guinea, Java. The rest is non-combat. The rest is non-combat. All right, so done this, done that. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's do some rolling. Let's do some rolling. I thought I bought a bomber pair there. Nope. Nope, because there's no infantry there anymore. All right. So here we go. Let's do amphibious first. Well, they're both amphibious. So let's do this. First thing is we have a AAA for Anzac. They will get 3 at 1. Okay, 3 at 1 for Anzac, going against my 3 planes. And nothing. They missed. All right. So now the battle we're going to do is I get 2 at 1. Okay, for infantry. I get 2 at 3 for my tanks. I get a 3 for a fighter, a 3 for attack, a 4 for my combined arms, and then a 3 for offshore bombardment. Okay, here we go. I need 2 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Okay, so he rolls 1 infantry at 2, since his AAA does not get to defend. And he missed, okay? So, Japan goes up 1, actually, to 53. Okay, so I'll turn that over. Let's do this battle. I have 4 at 1. 4 at 1 for Java. I have 2 3s for 2 fighters. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. All right, so here we go. And I need 1 hit. And I got 1, 2, 3 hits. So he has 1 infantry on the Java. Oh, he did get a hit. Nicely done. So I'm going to lose my bomber. So the bomber is toast, because all it can do next turn is, well, do I want to lose my bomber? So he's gone. If I lose my bomber, he lands back here, and he can't. No, I'm losing infantry. I'm going to lose an infantry. I know the standard whatchamadoodle is lose the bomber, so the bomber has to go back and land in Borneo, all right? So Japan has now taken Java, which is another $4. $1, $2, $3, $4. So they're up to 57. So now we need to do the carousel of non-com. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to, I've got to catch these planes, so 1 carrier. By the way, I do have super carriers, so this has 1 point of damage, and a super carrier with 1 point of damage is still fully operational. So it can go 1, 2. It can move 2 spaces, and it will catch these 3 planes, unos, tuos, trios, but it is still damaged, has 1 point. Okay, there's that. This carrier from here will go 1, 2, 3 and join them, and it will catch these 2 planes. Righto. Okay. So there's that. Bye-bye, transport. Looks like I'm gonna lose my first transport of the game. All right, this bomber. I've done all my battles, right? Yeah. So the bomber from Borneo is going to travel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over to the Caroline Islands. Okay. Guys, I'm watching my board, and I'm not sure if you saw that. I might be doing a bad job of keeping this in here a bit. My bomber from Borneo went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and landed on the Caroline Islands. So Borneo to Caroline. This one is an air transport. Actually, so let me mark this just so we know. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely wanted to keep the bomber because of what I'm going to do next. All right. So, that is the world oil point, because we have 3 oils here, unos, tuos, trios, plus Romania, for right now, is 4. So we do have the world oil point, which is 4 of 10. So now we're up to 11. And Fiji gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 Pacific Islands. So we now have the Pacific Island point. So we now have 12. Now we got to hold everything. That's the trick. So let's continue doing some non-coms here. I've got attack from Quagmire. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 and land in Guam. I see you, you little pesky little transport. I know what your game is. I know what your game is. All right, two tacks over here from Quagmire. We'll go 1, 2, 3 over to the Philippines. The other 2 tacks will go 1, 2, 3 to Borneo. Okay. Okay, one transport from 62. I want to leave them here. Oh, let me think on that. The transport from Japan will take a tank and an infantry and go 1 and drop off in Shanghai. Okay, he's got 1, 2, 3. They can't make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't land anywhere. Ooh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, they can. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they can. But if that's what you want to do, come and get it. All right? Because, yes. All right, let's do this. So no more non-combat moves. I'm going to take from Johor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry, and we're going to move to Shantung. Okay. We're going to leave, and we're going to move the AAA with it as well. We're going to leave 1 infantry in Johor. From Shantung, we're going to rail the tank and the infantry 1, 2 down to Hong Kong. The mechanized infantry from Anhui will go 1, 2 down to Hong Kong. Okay. I got 1 infantry from Kwai Chau will step into Yunnan. I've got another infantry from Kwai Chau will step into Hopei. So let me chip that out. Okay. The infantry from Qinghai will come down to Xikang, just because, you know, he likes the Himalayas. They're a little bit nicer than that other mountain range pass. Let's see here. The artillery from Kwai Chau will rail. I can rail 2 artillery because I have a factory there. I will go, and it's worth 2 points. I'll go 1, 2. We will rail down to there. Okay. All right, these 2 artillery will step into Hunan. So let me get a couple artillery. So 2 artillery from Quagmire went to Hunan. The other 2 railed, 1, 2. Okay. We did that. We did that. We did that. Right here, cavalry can go 1, 2. He has to stop there, but they can go 1, 2. Actually, one of these infantry is going to go to, well, you know what, doesn't matter because he can still kill me. You know what, yeah, I'll put one of those infantry that came down to Sikang. No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, I know. All right, so I guess we need to do, I've done all my non-combat moves. Let me double check. Let me place my pieces. I'm going to place, I might move these transports if you'll allow that me here in a second. I'm going to place 1 destroyer in 19. I'm going to place 1 destroyer in 62. I'm going to place a tank and an infantry in Sydney. So now that's taking care of this complex down here, 3 units. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to place 2 fighters in Queensland. I'm going to take 1 fighter. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm going to take a tactical and go up here. No, we don't do. Yeah, I'm going to take a fighter, 1 fighter from Queensland and go land on my other supercarrier. Okay. My 2 bombers will go in Japan. Okay. My 4 infantry will go into Japan. All right. And I have another fighter. I bought 3 fighters. My other fighter is going to go into Japan. So I placed 3 units here, 1, 2, 3. I placed 2 here, 1, 2. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm gonna switch that out. We're gonna do a tactical is gonna go on there instead of a fighter. Okay. Yeah, all right, so I think I've done all that I can do. Let me just make sure. I got the Philippines. I'm sorry, this is the Guam. Guam is 6 here, so come on over here. Boop, boop. Scramble. Dead. All right. Come on over here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. If you want to do a 1 versus that. Yeah, the only thing I'm not feeling, the only thing I'm not sure is I'm gonna think about the I can take it here. He can come in with his planes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't make it. So you get a 1 versus 2 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can send a fighter over there. So remember, I bought 2 fighters and placed them in Queensland. I'm thinking if I should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I do that, what's that going to look like? Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we will do that. All right, guys. So you're gonna watch me count. All right, so these two transports. I'm gonna send one of the transports from Sydney. 1, 2, 3 will come up to C-Zone 45 as well. Okay. Alrighty. So let's do a recap here. So let me collect my money first. So Japan has $57. Plus they get 2 NOs, 57, 58, 59, 60, because they have Guam. And then they still have Sydney, so that's another 5. So they get 65. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65. So they get 65. And I do not see any convoys. Make sure I don't get this money mixed up with my... So Japan went from the 60s up to 90s, back down to 60s, all because of the Sydney thing. So, yeah, so I think we have, I think this is what we can do. So Japan has this, so okay, I'll probably use a couple transports, 1, 2, possibly 3, but if you want to pull a plane off of Celebes to come get that booger, come and get it. All right. So let's do a recap. So on Fiji, I have off of Fiji a transport on Fiji, tank and an infantry. But by the way, I have 65 plus the 2 that I saved from this turn, 67 to spend next turn. So tank and infantry off Fiji. Caroline Islands, I have a bomber, a AAA, and 2 infantry. Palau and infantry. C-Zone 62, I have a destroyer and transport. Sydney, I have a infantry, tank. In Queensland, I have 2 fighters. In Palau, I think I said an infantry. In Dutch New Guinea, I have 2 infantry, 2 tanks. In the C-Zone 45, I have 2 carriers. 1 has 1 point of damage. I have 2 fighters and attack on 1, 2 tacks and a fighter on the other. I have a battleship, I have a cruiser, I have a destroyer tucked in right there. See that subs right here? And then I have 3 transports. Okay. On the Philippines, I have a fighter and 2 tacks. On Guam, I have a tack. Okinawa still have an infantry. He's like, dude, what's going on? In the C-Zone 42, I have a dead transport and 3 infantry on Java. In Borneo, I have, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can't make it. So on Borneo, I have a air transport and 2 tacks. I have a destroyer in 37. I have a destroyer in 41. In Quang Si, I have 3 artillery, a tank, and an infantry. Hong Kong, I have a tank, a mech, and an infantry. In Hunan, 2 artillery. Yunnan, an infantry. Kwai Chau, an infantry. Sikang, an infantry. Hopei, an infantry. Johor, an infantry. Shanghai, infantry tank. Shantung, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry and a AAA. Johor, I said infantry. Japan, I have 3 AAAs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry. 1, 2, 3 artillery, a fighter, and 2 bombers. Okay. And I think that is it. Let me just do one more look here to make sure I'm not naked. His planes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cannot land anywhere. I can't even land on New Guinea. These planes can go 1, 2, 3, 4. You're welcome to come over if you want. You can't take 1, 2. Can't take Guam. 1, 2. Very low odds on that. His planes. 1, 2, 3. There's no landing spot. 4, 5. They can't make it. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Just making sure I'm not missing something. 4, 5. Okay, they can't make it. No carrier in the vicinity. All this is on here. All right, so I think that's it. Hope I haven't missed anything. Did I say transport and destroyer in 19? So all right, guys, that's Japan's J7 turn. Axis now have 12 points. We're going to go on to United States to see what they have in store for us. I'm sure it'll be a doozy. Hey guys, here real quick before I upload this, I want to make one change to a non-combat move. Hope you'll surprise. If you remember, I had and a purchase placement. If you remember, I had a fighter and attack here, right? And I put my tack on this carrier, and I sent my fighter to Japan. So I'm going to change that. My tack is still going to go to the carrier, but my fighter is not going to go to the Philippines. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am going to land it here because these little pesky planes can go 1, 2, 3 and get involved in a scramble. And I just don't like the idea of a 1 going against a 3. And if he hits and I miss, I lose Guam, and I can't lose Guam. And then my fighter that I placed in Japan, that I bought, I'm going to place it in Queensland with the other 2 fighters I bought. If that makes sense. So let me just kind of get this straight. In Queensland, I have 3 fighters. I no longer have a fighter in Japan. 3 fighters in Queensland, a fighter tack in Guam, 2 tacks in the Philippines, and then this has not changed. This has not changed, okay? I know I kind of moved planes around there a little bit, but just so you know, 3 fighters in Queensland, fighter and attack in Guam, 2 tacks in Manila. 1, 2, 3. He can make it there for the scramble, his planes, but his planes can't make it to Guam for the land battle. So I'll let his 1 come against my 3 and 4. Same thing here. All right, guys. Sorry about the confusion. Hope that's cool.